The Committee on Parole's call to order today is Thursday, March 30th, 8:42 a.m. My name is Brennan Kelsey, along with Ms. Cheryl Knotts and Mr. Alvin Roche. They have a support seat at DOC headquarters in Baton Rouge. Our remote location is Iberia Parish Jail with staff at Iberia. Please introduce yourself. No, can you hear me? Walking with it. Can you hear me? Maybe. No. Can you hear me? Can't hear me. All right, we're at Iberia Parish Jail, our remote location with staff and support at Iberia. Please introduce yourself.
Yes, sir. This is Deputy Laura Tarver, Tarver.
All right, thank you. Ready for our first case? Please introduce yourself, state your name and DOC number for the record.
Kevin Freeman, DOC number 607392.
Right, Kevin, we're here for a parole revocation hearing. We'll read some rule violations. You plead guilty, not guilty, guilty with a statement, or not guilty with a statement. Ask you some questions. You can respond at the end. You can make a statement. We'll take a vote. Do you have a parole revocation questionnaire in front of you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
That's the signature at the bottom. That's your signature at the bottom.
It's your signature.
Yes, yes,
Okay. You read and write?
yes, yes, sir.
All right. We also have Miss Carla Broussard, Lakeisha Levi, Tanya Smith. All make a brief statement when the appropriate time. Kevin Freeman, DOC number 607392. Rule number 4, on October 2nd, 2022, you engage in criminal conduct by committing domestic abuse, battery, strangulation on a pregnant victim. Subsequently, on October 2nd, 2022, you were arrested by the Lafayette Parish Sheriff's Office in charge of domestic abuse, battery, strangulation on a pregnant victim. On December 22, 2022, you pled guilty to reduced charge of simple battery in the 15th Judicial District Court of Lafayette Parish. You were sentenced to 1-year probation. You were ordered to complete domestic violence program and anger management per your plea agreement. How do you plead?
Guilty.
Okay, number 10, since being placed on parole, you have failed to make regular monthly payments into this account, resulting in arrearages of $1,820. How do you plead?
Guilty.
All right. Well, tell me what happened. Why we're here? What's going on?
It was on the domestic, on the simple battery. It was just a miscommunications with my kids, mama and stuff. There wasn't no violence or nothing like that. It was just a miscommunication with the kids, and you know what I'm saying. It was like we were just arguing, and you know it wasn't nothing about nothing physical. That's why I was trying to explain to the officer, but they took it, you know, took me to jail, and my parole, the fine. It was hard for me to find a job at the time because of my background. And then the pandemic came. And when the pandemic came, you know, it was hard for me to make any type of money. So I couldn't really have no job or nothing. But after the pandemic came, I had got a job. I was working at Pelicans.
When did you get out?
Sir?
When were you out? When were you out trying to get this job? I mean, it's 2023 now. When were you out? You said the pandemic messed you up. When were you out?
When I got out?
Yeah, what year? When did you get out?
I got out in 2000. I got out August 14th, 2018.
Okay. And so then you got your job. And so you were out for how long before you got this charge?
4 years.
You with the same girlfriend for all this time?
Yeah, it's the same girlfriend.
You have children by her?
Yeah, we have kids.
And so did you, so I mean, what happened? Obviously, the report says that, you know, that you spit on her, you choked her, there's marks on her neck. I mean, how did all that happen? That if you say it was just an altercation, you were just talking. I mean, best thing to do is be honest with me. That's probably the smartest thing.
Well, like I said, I don't know what the statement wrote. That's my first time ever getting the statements of what she was saying. I ain't had none of that. Because I don't know what was said. All I know, I was just been arrested. They arrested me. So I don't know what the police report or nothing was said. You know, we ain't physical, we ain't did none of that. No physical, no none of that.
I mean, so you've been with her since 2018, and this is the first time y'all got in a fight?
It's the first time everything happened.
How many children do you have? How many children you got with her?
Well, I got one with her. Altogether, I got 4.
And so you, how long you been in jail right now since this happened?
6 months, almost 6 months. Make 6 months. April 2nd.
So you telling me that you just had a little argument, but the report says that you spit in her face, punched her in the face with closed fists. You started to choke her, at which point she couldn't breathe. There was brush burns on the side of her neck. So is that just made up, or is that what tell me? I'm reading.
I asked for all the police reports and stuff. That's what I'm saying. This is my first time hearing that. I ain't never had the police report of what nobody was saying. It's my first time hearing that I spit on her, that I choked her.
That's an affidavit of arrest. I'm reading it. I mean, I'm telling you what it says.
Right.
I'm asking you how does it say that? She just made that up, is what you're telling me?
No, I know we got into an argument for sure. For sure. Because it was two of my baby mamas had got into it. And I don't know if the other one got mad or you know, I don't know what really happened. Because I was trying to get all my documents that I've been, you know, the text messages and all that I was trying to, like, one of them was trying to set me up and all that. I was trying to get all that, but I couldn't, nobody came communicating with me. I had text messages, I had all that, but nobody ain't sent me nothing on my behalf that I was being set.
I'm just asking you about. I'm asking you. So you saying you didn't lay your hands on? Is that what you're telling me here today?
I ain't put my hands on. I ain't never punched her or nothing.
You tell me that she's not telling the truth? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, basically, I ain't punched nobody. I ain't punched nobody. I ain't laid my hands on nobody.
I mean, it's illegal to make a false police report. So, you know, if you ain't wrong, then maybe your girlfriend's in trouble. She shouldn't be making false police reports, huh? I mean, that's illegal too.
Yeah, but that's why I was trying to contact somebody, but nobody ain't never contacted me back. Nobody ain't never contacted me back or nothing.
So,
I had talked to my.
What kind of work were you doing out there?
Well, I was in class. I was in class. I had got my forklift license. I was working behind the trash truck. I was on a temp service working at UL, like for the games and construction stands and all that. And I was trying to get my CDL license. And I still have my supervisor for my job at Pelicans. He told me when I, get out, just contact me.
So you're out. So you were out 4 years and you were working at some point. But how'd you get so behind on your fees?
Well, like I said, the pandemic came. When the pandemic came, it was hard. At first, it was hard. When I got out, it was hard to get me a job because of my background. And then
You got picked up 6 months ago. Pandemics, we've been kind of out of that.
I was working. I was working 6 months ago. I was working.
You just weren't able to get caught back up? Were you paying your fees regularly? Or are you missing, or what's going on?
I was trying to catch back up.
All right, I don't have any more questions. Guess we'll hear from Parole Broussard. Brief statement. Okay, I hear you now. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
I can
Okay.
hear you now.
Yes. Okay, my name is Carla Broussard. I am Kevin's girlfriend, baby mama. I'm the one that was involved in the altercation. Basically, the thing was, we're two baby mamas that love the same person. And not being mature and understanding things that's involving children and being not being mindful of things that could happen, we kind of didn't take things responsible. And when I say this, after all of this has occurred, these 6 months, I realized that, we made foolish decisions. I made foolish decisions. I should have been more responsible. It wasn't just Kevin. It had a lot to do with me and the other one. And being that he went to jail for 6 months, I'm pregnant. I'm getting ready to deliver a baby in another month. And I realized with him being in jail for 6 months, it took away from his kids that he has now, small children. It took away from me having support in my life because we chose to make poor decisions. Yes, that day was not as bad as they wrote in the report. The police did not write the report correctly. I sat down with Miss Phelps, the DA attorney, and we talked about what happened and occurred. The things that they have for strangulation was him trying to wake me up, not choking me, because I was sleeping. So basically, when you shake somebody, it kind of like, I'm coming from out of a sleep. So shaking me to wake me up to tell me what the other baby mama had text was why, I said, the shaking. So they put in a report strangulation and things like that. So basically, as he's fussing, spit coming out of his mouth and things like that, and not a physical spit. So I sat down with Miss Phelps and I told her, yes, I feel like I had a lot to do with why Kevin got angry, because I shouldn't have been talking badly about him to her. But I was just so stuck in my own feelings, trying to, I guess because I was in love with it.
I understand, but what's going to be different? What's going to be different when you get back in there? First of all, he's still got multiple baby mamas. That ain't going away. Second of all,
yes,
y'all gonna have
understand
problems.
that.
Because look, believe it or not, it's harder on a relationship when you have kids. It gets tougher. Things are gonna be tough. So how's it gonna change? How we,
Well, the thing is, like I told him, we had 6 months. We talked every day. And I told him, Kevin, you missed out on Christmas with your kids. You missed out on all my doctor's appointments. I don't have a mother. I don't have a father. I don't have no support, and I just really told him, we need to take domestic classes together. We need to sit down and we need to see what is it that's causing, us not to come into agreement. It could be a simple plan put in place so that we could get along. Children could be siblings together. And I just feel locking him back up is not going to solve him not being able to be involved with his children's life.
All right.
I know how to.
Thank you for your comment. Thank you. We're going to hear from Ms. Lakeisha now. Brief statement from Ms. Lakeisha.
Hello.
Hey, you want to make a brief statement?
Sure. Well, I'm Lakeisha. I live in Houston, Texas. I'm his auntie. Kevin my nephew's a good kid. He tried his best to find jobs, even tried to get a CDL because I have a trucking company. So I knew he couldn't come to Houston to try to work and do that because of his situation. So his idea was to go get a CDL license so that way he can speak with his parole officer and I can hire him. But yes, he's definitely a good kid. And I think that a lot of the situation with the women that you deal with, everybody being childish, you can be older at age, but some people still haven't grown up. But he tried and got several jobs. And I wish I would have known he was like needing help with paying the fees because I would have paid it. But yeah, he's definitely a good kid. He really want to be out. He missed his when he went to jail the first time, his son was small as well.
All right.
And
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you for your comment.
You're welcome.
Just Tanya now.
Hello,
Hey.
I'm Tanya Smith. I'm Kevin auntie. I live in Mississippi. And what I wanted to say about my nephew Kevin is that he tried. He always tried. I talked to Kevin. I was talking to him like every other day, and to make sure that he's staying on the right path, staying on making sure that he's looking for a job. And he called me. He even cried to me, telling me that he could not get a job, how hard it was because of his background. And so I'm a God-fearing person. So I've always prayed with him. I've always told him that, it's just a test. God gonna lead you the right way. You're gonna find the right job. So he ended up finding that job at Pelican. And I was so proud of him. And, and he was saying, Nanny, I need it, I need to try to get back so I can start paying my child support. I need to make sure that I'm able to pay my parole officer. And that, and I told him, I said, Kevin, you will, you just got on this job. Things gonna work out. You're gonna be able to get back on track. Kevin is, and I'm not saying this just because I'm being, thinking that I'm biased or that he's my nephew. He's really, really trying. He's really trying. Now, I'm not saying that he's perfect, but I know my nephew and I know that he's really trying. He's really trying to be a good person in society.
All right. Thank you so much for your comment.
You're
Kevin,
welcome.
would you like to make a statement on your behalf?
Sir?
Would you like to make a statement on your behalf?
Yes, sir. Well, I was trying, I was working, I tried to catch on my PVs. I was in class. I was trying to, I asked for all the help. I even asked my parole officer for help. He even tried to help me. I kept calling him. I did everything, trying to do the right thing. I tried to walk down the right path. It's been 4 years since I got in trouble. And I'm not a trouble person. I believe in God. I was, praying with my auntie. I was trying. I tried.
All right, thank you. Panel prepared to vote. I'll vote first. Look, Kevin, I hear what you're saying. It's disappointing that you're here. Disappointing. Look, hey, you're trying, but look, there's a little more to the story than you guys lead on to. Today I find you guilty of Rule 4 and 10. My vote is to revoke your parole. Ms. Renata?
Based on the evidence in the record, I also think that the violating conditions of parole.
Mr. Roche?
Mr.
Freeman.
Freeman, you need to get it together. You don't have it together. You need at this time, between the time of next parole year, get it together. You don't have it together. Based on you pleading guilty to the simple battery is a violent misdemeanor, a revocable offense. I therefore vote your suspension.
All right, 3 votes to revoke. Your parole's been revoked. Good luck to you. We'll adjourn at 9:02.
It's just sad, really. You know, it was when Carla came on, it was interesting. We've seen a lot of these cases where there's domestic violence that's in question, and you never know. We've seen cases where the woman has made it up. We've seen a bunch of them, and where it was clearly that she had made it up. This one, it was clear that she hadn't made it up. But you typically will see them come on and say, it never happened. It never happened. I don't know why it was in the report. And this was different. It was like she was trying to work her way through the statement, and the whole time, like, putting the blame on herself, which was like kind of like the typical thing that you see when somehow victims are manipulated into thinking that it's their fault. And this was, I thought, a classic case of it. I think she used the words, it was partially my fault. I shouldn't have been saying bad things to his other baby mama in a text. And it's like, no. She said, you know, he woke me up because he was angry, like how you would wake someone up. It's like, even if he didn't choke her, the idea of being traumatized by sleeping when you are thinking you're in that safe place, like the trauma of being aggressively woken up, that fear, and like that shock and surprise of what's going on. And obviously I don't believe it. I believe that he entirely did choke her. And I think everything she put in the police report happened. And she just seems so worked up about it. And what was it? Mr. Mirabella said to her, like, hey, things are only going to get more difficult when you have a kid. And they are. It's just heartbreaking. She said she has no family, no father, no mother. And she now finds herself in what seems to be an abusive relationship. And it's like this, it's just heartbreaking. I don't know. You know, he had been out since 2018, seemed to have been out of trouble the whole time. Until then, and it's just like, I don't know how much of his sentence he has more to serve and whatnot, but it's like, you know, it's like he can't help himself. Like, he has everything to lose, literally going back to prison, and the rage is just uncontrollable. And yeah, you need a lot of to try to fix that. Someone needs to do a lot of deep searching and therapy and work. But probably first needs to do is to admit it, that he has a problem, and he doesn't seem to be doing that. He's just denying it and victim blaming. And for that, you can't feel, I don't feel bad for him, because otherwise it's going to be just a cycle that repeats itself, and it's going to be generational, and it will pass down to their kids. And I mean, it doesn't always have to, but it can. Anyways, hope to hear your thoughts. And with that, I'll let you go.